Hi guys, what is up? It's girl Karen, aka cakedbybabyk, and welcome back to my channel. Today is very exciting. I'm getting ready for mine and Nate's engagement shoot. It's late, I know. We've been engaged for 10 months now, and we're just now getting to it. Okay, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I am a procrastinator. We are shooting with a photographer that we hired to do our wedding. And I thought that I would talk about my last few wedding dress appointments as well, because I've yet to update you guys on that. For primer, just doing the Makeup Revolution bronzing drops. You guys have seen these in almost every trial that I've done. I'm gonna do my makeup a little bit differently for this shoot because it doesn't require that level of like bridal glam. I want this to be a little bit more laid back. We're at the beach. I'm wearing this sweater and some jeans. It's gonna be very chill. But back to my wedding dress appointment, I did find my dress. Super excited. I have decided to not show anybody except for a select group of people. I've only shown my mom, my grandma, Nate's grandma, my aunt on my mom's side, and then my two cousins. Now that I'm saying it out loud, it actually sounds like a lot of people, but I promise it's not. Like, I'm not even showing my sister, my bridesmaids, like none of those people. We're gonna be doing a first look with everybody the day of the wedding. But let's kind of backtrack and talk about how I ended up finding my dress and how my other two appointments went. Also using the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. I have been trying out the Pat McGrath foundation, and I feel like that has just taken precedent over this one because I bought both to test out for my wedding. I've tried this one out before. I like it, but I think I like the Pat McGrath one a little bit better, but we're gonna keep on testing both. Anyways, going back to wedding dresses, in my last update, I told you guys how I was bringing two other people who weren't in the first appointment with me to my second appointment, and that appointment went really well. I found a dress that I absolutely loved, but I wasn't sure was the one. It was so stunning. The designer was Ann Barge. I'm gonna insert a photo right here. If I did not get the dress that I actually got, I would have gone with this one. We went to Styled by TC in, I believe, Brea, and that vibe was completely different than the first place that I tried. This one felt a little bit more corporate, which I wasn't mad at because they did have a beautiful layout and a lot of amazing, gorgeous, stunning dresses, but I just felt like the level of care just wasn't matched up to the first place that I went to, because the first place was very much like small business. They really took their time with me. Lancome Tawny Doll, y'all already know, and then I'm doing Born This Way concealer. Anyways, I really like the choices that Styled by TC gave me, but it just didn't feel right yet. It was such a fun experience though, and way better than my first appointment because those friends had been briefed on how the first appointment went. Originally on that day, I only had the one appointment booked, but I had the whole day free, and so did one of my other friends. Her name's Annie. She's been my best friend since first grade. Hi Annie, I know you're probably watching this. So we were just like, you know, let's just try and book another boutique last minute because it was a random Tuesday. So we were able to fit another appointment in that same day. We drove down to Anaheim because we were already kind of more south than where we usually are. At this point, we are full sending it. And that boutique was interesting. I don't regret going because it was a lot of fun, and I did try on a few dress styles that I hadn't tried on yet, so it wasn't a total waste. But overall, I think I tried on close to 20 or maybe over 20 dresses. Using something different for bronzer contour, I'm using the e.l.f. camo bronzer contour. Also, it's like kind of partly cloudy today, which is why the lighting keeps on changing. Anyways, I still felt drawn to a dress that I had tried on at my first appointment. So the next day I decided to go back to the first boutique that I visited and try on my top contender. Not only did I decide to go alone, I decided to not do my hair or do any bridal makeup because I knew that if I went looking like a potato and I felt beautiful in a dress and I wanted that dress, I would know that that is the dress for me. So hot tip to any brides out there, you may want to do that. It actually was very nonchalant. I made the appointment super last minute. When I went, it was just me and the shop owner, Lisa. We were talking, I was updating her on where I was at in my wedding dress journey, and I told her that I went to a few other boutiques. I had tried on a really beautiful Ann Barge dress that was my second choice. And I don't think I mentioned this when I was telling this portion of the story earlier, but that bridal stylist that was helping me when I was trying the Ann Barge dress at Styled by TC, she was saying how that dress was super popular, how she had sold it 24 times in the last, like, I don't even know how long. And immediately when she said that, I was like, super turned off by the idea of wearing that dress. I don't think any bride wants to hear that she's wearing a super common wedding dress, you know what I mean? So I was telling Lisa, the shop owner, that, and she was like, oh, no. Okay, we're gonna have you try on your top contender, and I'm also gonna pull a few new ones for you to try. She's showing me something on the rack and she was like, oh, have you tried this one? I'm looking at the dress on the rack and I'm thinking, yeah, I might have tried that one on at a different boutique, or I may have tried on something similar, but either way, I was willing to try it. I think she pulled 3 new dresses for me, and then I retried on the dress from my first appointment. That was my first contender, so I tried on 4 dresses total during that appointment. So sis, Brow Pop Nano, y'all already know. As I was saying, I told her I'm willing to try on whatever she wants to pull for me. So she pulled the one that she showed me on the rack. I tried it on, and when I tell you, my jaw on the floor. I was so blown away. I would not have picked that dress for myself, but I just felt so different in it. I didn't know if it was the one just yet, so I was just looking at myself, and Lisa, the shop owner, was like, did I just throw a wrench in your plans? And I said, absolutely, you did. You just made this a hell of a lot harder. So she's like, okay, take that one off. We'll try the other ones on, and then we'll try your first choice from last time on as well. The next 2 dresses that she pulled, they were new. They weren't the one. So then I tried on my first choice from the first appointment, and all of a sudden, I just was like, she's not the one. Like, I've tried on other dresses at this point that far exceed this dress, so my number 1 contender was out. And then she asked me, do you want to try on that other dress again, the one that threw a wrench in your plans? I said, absolutely, let's try it on again. I want to see it on. I want to see it on with a veil. And this time I went to a different area of the store, one that had better lighting, a bigger pedestal, and before she could even put the veil on, I started tearing up. If you guys don't know this about me, I'm a very emotional person. My therapist calls me a highly sensitive person. I feel things very deeply. I feel things very heavily. I take on the emotions of other people as well. I am an empathetic crier, or sympathetic crier, whatever it is. I always had this idea in my mind that if I found my dress, I would cry, and at that point I hadn't cried at any of the dresses yet. So the fact that I cried when I put on this one was already a very big moment for me. At that point, I was like, this is it. I'm 99% sure this is my dress. I went home and I slept on it, and then I think 2 days later, I went and I bought the damn thing. All signs were pointing to this was my dress. It was under my budget. And you know how I mentioned how I didn't like the Anne Barge dress being so popular? I had asked Lisa, the shop owner, who the designer was of that dress that ended up being my dress, and she said, me. When I tell you my jaw dropped, I was like, Lisa? So in addition to running a full-fledged bridal boutique, she's also a designer and she sells her own gowns, but she is never pushy about her gowns. Like, in no way in that entire process did I think she was trying to sell me on her specific dress, or any dress for that matter. Like, I think that's why I liked them so much, is because they weren't pushy at all. I know a lot of people have very pushy bridal stylists at certain locations or shops that they go to, but not one time did I feel pressured by Lisa or her team. The level of care that they exhibited towards me, it was just honestly so special and just the epitome of amazing customer service. And the fact that Lisa designed that dress, it just further solidified my choice, because a big reason why I said no to the Anne Barge dress is because it was so popular. I was literally having lunch with one of my friends yesterday, and she told me she went to the exact same place and she tried on the exact same dress. And I always like to support small businesses and local businesses in the area whenever I can. So the fact that she is a local business and she was the one that designed my dress, it just felt like fate. It felt like all signs were pointing to this is your dress. And I have anxiety, obviously. I've talked about that pretty extensively. And a big hesitancy, I would say, or a big fear of mine after I bought my dress would be if I had buyer's remorse, and I would kind of dwell on it and I would think, oh, did I make the right choice? Like, maybe I should have gone with the other dress. But I don't have any feelings of regret or hesitation or anything. Like, I think about my dress all the time, and I think about how I can't wait to put it on again. But now the anxiety has kind of shifted to what if I put it on again, and I'm building it up in my head so much that it doesn't live up to the hype after the few months that it takes to make this dress. But I'm sure it's gonna be fine. Overall, I am very, very, very excited. It made my other not as good first experience completely worth it because I know all that had to happen in order for me to find my dress. I'm just so freaking excited. I'm excited to take pictures today. I'm excited for all the things. The closer that it gets to our wedding, the more excited I am, which is good. That should be happening, at least in my mind. Okay, I did some lashes off camera. I did a combination of the Kiss Falscara that I have left over and the Be Blinky ones. I didn't have long enough Be Blinky clusters. I need to re-up on these. I'm a little bit worried about how these lashes will photograph because I like them to be a tad bit longer, but this is all I have, so we're just gonna make do. Anyways, very, very excited for today's shoot. I am a little bit nervous though because it's gonna be at the beach and it's December and it's cold. I already know that we're gonna get some shots in the water because, fun fact, when Nate and I were on our first date, we went to the beach and he let a wave attack me. So we're kind of wanting to recreate that vibe. Bucked some lip liner in High Def Honey, and I think I'm gonna do a regular matte lipstick today because at the beach I'm sure the wind is gonna be whipping and I don't want my hair to get stuck in gloss. Try this lipstick. This one's from Gucci. I don't know, I feel like that's too like brownish. That's a little bit better. This one's the Rare Beauty lipstick in the shade Creative. I don't know, we still have a few hours before we have to leave. I'm gonna film a few more videos, but this lip combination might change, and if it does, I will let you guys know what I change it to in the next update video. I still have to go do my hair, so I'm gonna go do that right now, but that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, all that good, and I'll see you guys in the next update. Bye!